Have you ever wondered about the man behind the legend of Robin Hood? An intriguing figure, Robin Hood's identity has been the subject of considerable debate throughout history. Who was this enigmatic character who emerged from the dark forests of medieval England to become a symbol of hope and defiance? Some believe that Robin Hood was a nobleman who became an outlaw. This theory posits that he was a man of status, perhaps even a knight, who fell from grace due to political intrigue or personal rebellion. The ballad A Jest of Robin Hood from the 16th century lends some credence to this theory, portraying Robin Hood as a displaced nobleman who took to the forests to live as an outlaw. On the other hand, another theory suggests that Robin Hood was a commoner standing up against injustice. The notion of Robin Hood as a yeoman or middle-class freeman is a popular one. The character Robin Hood in the early ballad Robin Hood and the Monk is depicted as a yeoman, suggesting that he was a man of the people, fighting against the oppressive feudal system of the time. Then there's the theory that Robin Hood was not a single person at all, but a composite of several outlaws, rebels, and bandits who lived during the medieval period. This idea is supported by the fact that Robin Hood was a common alias used by outlaws at the time. Despite the mystery surrounding his origins, Robin Hood's legend continues to captivate us. Whether he was a nobleman turned outlaw, a commoner fighting against injustice, or a composite of several historical figures, Robin Hood's story resonates because it's a tale of bravery, defiance, and compassion in the face of tyranny. This enigmatic figure from history, shrouded in mystery and wrapped in legend, continues to inspire us, reminding us that sometimes one must stand against injustice, even if it means becoming an outlaw. Let's meet the notorious companions who joined Robin Hood in his quests. As we delve deeper into the Robin Hood legend, we encounter a colorful cast of characters, each with their own unique story to tell. First, there's Little John. Despite his ironic name, Little John was anything but small. Known for his towering stature and immense strength, he was a formidable opponent and a loyal friend to Robin Hood. Legend has it, their friendship began with a duel on a narrow log bridge. After a fierce battle, they both fell into the river, emerging with a newfound respect for one another. Then we have Friar Tuck, the jovial and rotund clergyman with a fondness for good food and drink. Don't let his religious garb fool you though. Beneath his merry exterior, Friar Tuck was a fierce warrior and a steadfast ally. He often provided the moral compass for the group, reminding them of their purpose and guiding them towards righteous actions. And of course we can't forget Maid Marian, the love of Robin Hood's life. Far from a damsel in distress, Marian was a force to be reckoned with. She often joined Robin and his band on their daring adventures, proving her courage and resourcefulness time and again. Her love story with Robin added a romantic element to the otherwise rugged tale, reminding us that even in the midst of rebellion, there's room for love and tenderness. Together, these characters formed the Merry Men, a band of outlaws who roamed Sherwood Forest, living off the land and defying the oppressive laws of the time. They shared a deep camaraderie, bound by their shared mission to fight injustice and their mutual respect for one another. Their daring adventures filled with thrilling chases, daring escapes, and clever tricks became the stuff of legend. In the end, the Merry Men were more than just outlaws. They were a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope for the oppressed, and most importantly, a family. Together, they defied the law and lived by their own rules. Robin Hood is famous for stealing from the rich to give to the poor, but was it that simple? Let's dive deeper into the moral fabric of this legendary figure. Robin Hood, a hero or a criminal? His actions of theft are, by definition, an act of crime. However, the context of his actions paints a different picture. The rich in medieval England were often the nobles and the clergy, who amassed wealth through taxes and tithes, often at the expense of the common folk. The poor were left with little, struggling to survive. In such a scenario, Robin Hood's actions of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, though illegal, were seen by many as an act of justice. But it's not just about the redistribution of wealth. Robin Hood's actions were a direct challenge to the power dynamics of the time. By taking from the rich, he was undermining their authority and their control over resources. His actions were a form of protest against the social structure that allowed such disparity to exist in the first place. Moreover, Robin Hood did not act alone. He led a band of outlaws, men who had similarly been marginalized by society. Together, they formed a community in the heart of Sherwood Forest, living by their own rules and norms. Their existence was a testament to their resilience and their refusal to accept the status quo. Yet, it's important to remember that the story of Robin Hood is steeped in myth and folklore. The image of Robin Hood as a benevolent thief could be a romanticized interpretation of a complex character. Perhaps he was driven by personal motivations or political ambitions. Perhaps his actions were not always as noble as the tales suggest, but regardless of the motives behind his actions, one thing is clear. Robin Hood challenged the status quo, becoming a beacon of hope for the oppressed. His legend continues to resonate with us today, reminding us of the power of resistance and the importance of standing up for what is right. Every hero needs a villain, and Robin Hood had the ruthless Sheriff of Nottingham. The Sheriff of Nottingham is a character we're all too familiar with, a man whose name is synonymous with tyranny and oppression. As the primary antagonist in the Robin Hood legend, the sheriff's role was to uphold the law of the land, a law that often favored the rich over the poor. This put him in direct conflict with Robin Hood, the champion of the downtrodden. Their rivalry was not just about physical battles but also a clash of ideologies. On one hand we had Robin Hood, the outlaw who believed in justice and equality. On the other, the Sheriff of Nottingham, a symbol of a system that perpetuated inequality and injustice. Their encounters often involved more than just sword fights. They were battles of wit, strategy, and skill. One of the most compelling aspects of their relationship is the dynamic balance of power. Despite the sheriff's position of authority, Robin Hood was always a thorn in his side, constantly outsmarting him and disrupting his plans. This ongoing conflict added an element of suspense and excitement to the legend, making it a timeless tale of the underdog triumphing over the oppressor. The Sheriff of Nottingham was not just an individual, but a representation of an oppressive system. He embodied the injustice and inequality that was rampant in medieval England. His ruthlessness and disregard for the plight of the poor made him the perfect foil for Robin Hood, highlighting the stark contrast between their values and motivations. Their rivalry was not just a personal feud, but a reflection of the societal conflict of the time. It was a struggle between the powerful and the powerless, the rich and the poor, the oppressors and the oppressed. And at the heart of it all was Robin Hood, challenging the status quo and fighting for a fairer world. The sheriff became the embodiment of the oppression Robin Hood fought against. From ancient ballads to modern films, Robin Hood's story continues to inspire. This man, a symbol of resistance against oppression, still holds a firm place in our hearts and minds, centuries after he first emerged from the shadows of Sherwood Forest. Robin Hood's legacy is vast and varied, encapsulating a rich tapestry of tales, songs, and visuals that have evolved and diversified over time. His story has permeated every form of popular culture, from the earliest written ballads and plays to the grand spectacle of modern cinema and television series. Each retelling adds a new layer to the legend, enriching and expanding our understanding of this enigmatic figure. But it's not just the medium that has changed. The interpretations of Robin Hood's character have also evolved over time. Initially, he was seen as a symbol of rebellion, a thorn in the side of the rich and powerful. He was the common man's hero, fighting against a system that was rigged against the poor and marginalized. However, over time this rebel image softened. Robin Hood morphed into a more romanticized figure, a noble outlaw with a heart of gold. He transitioned from a symbol of social unrest to a beacon of hope and compassion. This shift is reflective of societal changes and the evolving perceptions of heroism and morality. Despite these transformations, the core essence of Robin Hood remains intact. He is still the champion of the underdog, the protector of the poor, the man who dares to defy authority in pursuit of justice. Whether he's portrayed as a rebellious outlaw or a romantic hero, Robin Hood continues to inspire with his audacity, his compassion, and his unwavering commitment to justice. As we ponder the question of Robin Hood being an outlaw or a hero, we realize the answer might lie in the hearts of those inspired by his tale. Robin Hood, outlaw or hero, remains a timeless symbol of resistance against injustice, a beacon of hope in a world often marred by inequality and oppression. His legacy endures, reminding us of the power of courage, compassion, and the enduring human spirit.